distance, so I guess maybe over here might work. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Good morning. Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Kellums. I'm a landscape architect and principal planner with the city of Wichita. Wanted to thank you all for coming out here for the ribbon cutting for Phase 3 for here at Pracht Wetlands. We have a large group of speakers here, and they're going to get into so much detail. And they're going to provide you kind of the ins and outs of the project, including the artwork, some of the design. And I want to thank everyone, and I'll just list those off briefly. RDG was the designer for it, Conrad Snyder with the artwork, and Hutton couldn't do this without Hutton, so thank you, Hutton, for all the work that you've done out here. And also want to thank the Slauson company and the Pracht family. And the Pracht family, I believe you are here. Could you please raise your hand, or at least kind of point out where you are? Wonderful. Thank you for being here. We will have a tour after the speakers are done. We will plan to just meet just down here. You just follow the pathway and we'll go to the Phase 3, which you can see from here. And it's a beautiful location here, being able to kind of see through the wetlands to the Phase 3. There will be more phases that's planned as part of the master plan, but wanted to thank you all for being here for Phase 3. And again, we'll have a tour here once we get done with all the speakers. I think right now, Vice Mayor Johnson, you are next up.
Thank you, Tim. You know, my wife and I came out here early in the week, and you have to go on the tour because it's really, really cool. So I'd like to recognize Mayor Wu came here, and former councilman of District 5, Brian Fry, right there. So thank you for being here. And thank you for all our park staff for your time and talent enhancing and creating a wonderful shared spaces in our community like this one. As you know, this is one of few remaining urban wetland parks in the Midwest. It's a truly remarkable space that blends a natural habitat sanctuary for Kansas wildlife with a vibrant and active park space. It is a sanctuary in the literal sense for animals who inhabit it, and a sanctuary in a spiritual sense for those of us who visit it. As you walk along the boardwalks, the tranquility of the space is undeniable. The National Recreation and Parks Association points to Pracht as an example of an ideal urban planning, saying, this type of urban planning can and needs to be the future of all planning and developments. It's proof that urban development, art, green spaces, not only coexist, but create stronger and more dynamic communities when they work together on a shared vision. Residents and visitors will be able to make memories in this space and help support Wichita wildlife for generations to come. We are so happy to be here today, cutting the ribbon on the next phase of the development of Pracht. I want to thank our former City Council member, Brian Fry, for his advocacy for this park, which began its first phase construction in 2018. And next, I'm pleased to invite up the artist, Conrad Snyder, to share about his work in this park. Conrad, he's also doing the dog park, so that's pretty cool too. Thanks, Conrad.
Well, thank you, Vice Mayor. And I would like to just also reiterate thanking everyone. The city staff has been fabulous to work with, and RDG Architects and Hutton. So it's been a pleasure to be a part of this project, and out here especially, out in nature. I do ceramic work for the most part, and Clay loves to live around nature. And so this was a perfect opportunity to do that, to look at what the area was being, how it's being used, the birds that live here. They have a stopping point on their migration, and this is an area that is safe for them. They can be in amongst the grasses and here, and so that was kind of what we were trying to recreate. We picked up on a number of different visual things. One is the triangle that as the birds fly in, or the way they develop water and how that interacts with other wakes. You see those triangles represented in the walkways, and also pieces. Those triangles kind of all gather together into these clumps that are represented. The whole piece, the project is titled Color, and I wanted to pick up on the colors of the birds that are here, the colors that are in the vegetation at different seasons, parts of the day, sunrise, sunset, midday, cloudy weather, stormy weather. So all of those things. So you'll see colors that relate to nature in all these pieces, and then also the relating to the Corten steel that's part of the bird blind, and the stainless steel that's the top of these clumps of grasses, relating to the silvery color of the galvanized steel of the walkways. So that hopefully affects the environment and as they're interacting with the dog park. That's sorry, the Pracht Park. That's for later on, that, you know, as grasses grow up and partially obscure the pieces, and you'll see now there's about 3 feet of water out there, so the bottoms of the pieces are obscured by the water, and that sort of that changing and being obscured and more visible sometimes is part of the idea that I wanted to represent. So, well, thank you all for coming. Oh, okay. There you go, Tiara.
Good morning. My name is Tiara Rogers. For those of you I haven't got to meet yet, I'm with Hutton. I'm the project manager for this project. I'd like to thank everyone for coming here today. This is a really exciting time for all of us. I'd like to start off with a shout out to my site superintendent, John Scott. You were reliable, on top of things from the get-go, and without you and your hard work, this wouldn't be here today. Also to our Hutton field crews and to our partners at Flint Steel, Ziegler Electric. They were the heartbeat of the project, putting the work in place, and they did a great job. I think the results speak for themselves. Next, I would like to thank Conrad. He was really the brains behind the artwork. It really brought a new meaning to the space. And to Carrie and your team at RDG, your leadership and design work through concept all the way through reality was really appreciated, and we appreciate your partnership. And then lastly, I'd like to extend a sincere thank you to the City of Wichita, to Tim and Raneem and everyone who had a hand in it. We appreciate the opportunity to be a part of something that's going to be a part of the city for years to come. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, my name is Kerry Thompson. I'm landscape architect with RDG Planning and Design out of Omaha, Nebraska. I've actually been working on this project since 2016, so almost 9 years now. I first want to thank the Pracht family and the City of Wichita for their vision in preserving this wonderful ecosystem in the City of Wichita and the region. Also want to thank the city and Tim being great collaborators on this project, and Janet too. It's made this process really easy and fun to work on. I always enjoy coming back to Wichita to work on this project. And then Hutton and your team, again, it makes our job, my job, a lot easier to have a good construction team working on the project. And that started with phase 1 and 2, and then now with phase 3 as well. And then Conrad too, he was a great collaborator on this process. Again, he came up to Omaha and we did some charrettes and talked about his vision and how that related to the overall master plan of the park too. So speaking of the design, I also want to thank my design team at RDG. We had landscape architects, graphic designers, lighting designers from RDG that worked on the project, and then Alvine Engineering out of Omaha, Nebraska did the electrical engineering, and then KPFF was the structural engineers from Des Moines, and they came up with the great helical pier design, which basically lets us build this boardwalk without making a large impact on this ecosystem and wetlands. And that was the basis of the design, was to kind of tread lightly out into the landscape. We didn't want to destroy this wonderful landscape. We wanted to preserve it as much as we could. And that was the intent of the boardwalk, was to get people out into the landscape and to really experience this wonderful ecosystem that's unique to this area of Kansas. Eventually, the boardwalk will go all the way around, and there are 3 observation points. The first observation point being with phase 1 is the lotus blind, which you can see right over here. Of course, that was based off of the lotus flower that you can see throughout the site. And then the second observation point is phase 3, which we'll be going over to here pretty soon. And that is the duck and wildlife blind observation point. And that was based off of, there's actually a duck blind, an old duck blind that you can see down into the ground. It's probably a little hard to see with all the vegetation around it and some of the water, but that was the inspiration for this project. It's kind of rusting, the duck blind, so we played off of that with the weathering steel you'll see over there, and then some of the imagery reflects what you see out in the wetlands here too. And of course, Conrad's sculptures help flank that wildlife blind too. And then eventually phase 3 will be another observation point out in the middle of the park, and that'll be called the Nest, which will get you a little bit elevated up out of the wetland park. So again, it's been a great pleasure to work with the city of Wichita, and looking forward to the future phases. And this is such a great asset for the community of Wichita. And again, thank you.
Hi, I'm with the Ottabon Society here in town. Just real briefly, Cadillac Lake was a natural wetland covering 300 acres before European settlement. Most wetlands in the state are gone, making the ones that still survive exceptionally important, including these 90 acres. The earliest bird records from this place date to 1956, and almost 200 species of birds have been observed here, including some really outstanding finds, including just within the last few weeks. The Pracht family owned and preserved most of this for almost a century. I started visiting here in 1990 when 29th Street was still a gravel road with no houses on it. I knew Bill Pracht. He was a nice guy. He loved this place. In his final years, it was his fervent hope that somehow the wetlands would be preserved in the face of the urban development that now completely surrounds this park. He would be amazed at how fully his hopes have been realized. Ottabon Society submitted a written letter of support to the Corps of Engineers for the original proposal. I think it's important to also recognize Jerry Jones with Slauson, who spearheaded the donation of much of this land, as well as coordinating the public-private partnership that made it all come together. He coordinated multiple constituent groups with diverse priorities to do that. I also want to mention Larry Hootmer, who did at least some of the original design. It's been gratifying to see the development of this place as it's come together. Thank you.
Why does it RDG or something? There you go.
I knew your dad.
All right, we all get a
Took a
little
sociology course for him at Bethel. 13 years ago.
Pracht family, why don't you come here too?
Councilmember Pracht? Would you like to join? Would you like to join? All right.
Thank you for recognizing Jerry. He did a lot of work on this.
Oh, he did. Let's scoot down a little bit. Yeah.
I know that.
We're going to do a countdown. Second, okay? Not yet. Together, okay?
Jumping gun.
I know. 2, 3. Nice. Good job.
Need a little souvenir.
Whoever's clicking.